Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam Rasulullah. In December 2012, five brothers had just finished basic training and they went to their first ribat. They finished their changeover and they were getting themselves set up. They were putting away their gear, they had their weapons set to one side, and they were settling in for the next few days. One of them heard a noise outside. All of them decided to go investigate. And when they stepped out of the building, a tank round hit the building, and leveled it, and everything inside of it. Their gear, their weapons, everything, gone. One tank round. The five of them looked at each other and they said, "Didn't Abu Usaama tell us not to go anywhere without our weapons?" And that was a hard lesson learned. For those of you who don't know, I'm Abu Usaama Shamriki, an 8-year veteran of the United States Army Military Police. I've been asked to give some classes, talk about some lessons learned, whether from the revolution or from my military experience, and I needed to decide where to start. And this seemed like a very good place to start. From mindset. Mindset is very important when you're dealing with some of the topics that I want to cover. And it should be the first thing that we talk about before we go into anything. Just like the story I talked about, these brothers were given certain knowledge that they needed to apply. And because they hadn't applied it properly, or they hadn't incorporated it into their daily life, in the flash of an eye, they learned that lesson the hard way. Mindset is when you get certain knowledge and it changes the way you live, it changes the way you act. Maybe you remember when you first started to practice Islam or you first became Muslim. The knowledge that you gained, you started to pray, you started to fast, you started to deal with people differently. Your mindset was developing into being a Muslim. So when we talk about survival and we talk about military lessons, there are certain things that you have to implement in your life that should become second nature. You shouldn't have to think about it. You know that this is the way things are done and that's the way you do it. And an important lesson I learned when I was in the military from my squad leader, Sergeant Rob, shout out to Sergeant Rob, is that whatever one man can do, another man can do. Sergeant Rob said, or taught us, that he believed that if there was a human being that was able to do something, he could do it as well. And he said it may mean that he needs some additional training, he might have to do some reading, he might have to learn something new, but he can eventually be able to do the same thing. And I've carried that with me throughout my military career and on into the rest of my life, that whatever was in front of me, I would be able to accomplish that thing. That there's nothing that I can't do. And I tried to pass this on to the people I work with, the brothers that I trained, that you can do these things. And if you have this defeatist mentality, or you leave the house thinking, I can't do it, or it's not possible, then it won't be. And it's not going to happen for you. And I'm not talking about this, if you dream it, you can be it, or something like that. Yani, we're Muslims. We know that, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written something for you, it's going to happen. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't written something for you, it's not going to happen. And so Allah yansurukum. Yani, if you help Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will help you. So if it's good for you, if it's good for your deen, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may give you that thing, or may help you to achieve that thing. And certainly brothers who have been in the places that I've been, or we've shared certain things together, we've seen this in our lives, where it looks like everything is stacked against you, and suddenly it turns into your favor. Most recently, the liberation of Syria. They went into an operation where they thought they were going to be taking Halab and maybe parts of Hama, and they ended up taking the whole country. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to grant you something or wants to give you victory, it can happen. So this video marks the beginning of our journey, the first in what I hope to be many lessons for the brothers who requested them. And I would just like to add before closing I don't want to make this too long. There's a link if you want to contribute to help this effort. It took a lot of time just to get everything together to make this video. It's not as simple as it looks, speaking from personal experience. So anybody who wants to pitch in and help in the effort, Allah Jazak khair. And also, I would say that you also share in the ajr for any of the brothers who benefit from these lessons, obviously. Whatever you can do will help. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.